graduates, as we prepare for another episode of DC Graduates. I am one of your hosts, your doctor recommended dose of nerdiness, aka your nerd today, Carlos Rodriguez. And as always, I am joined by our former doctoral student who got their degree in the MC University, and now we are here proving that DC movies can be good as long as they're animated. Sly, how are you?
I am here. I am tired, and I just watched a movie. And we're gonna talk about that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, what a stopgap between season 1 and 2. Jesus Christ. It is a movie. That's how we can talk about it. Of course, we are talking about, as the title suggests below, Batman, Assault on Arkham. Came out in 2014. Uh, we'll go through like the little credits right here. Directed by Jay Oliveira and Ethan Spalding. Written by Keith Corson. Studios DC and MOI Animation, which we'll get into that shortly. And before we get into the stars, streaming all of that, Sly, what's your history with this movie?
I didn't know this movie existed until I was making the spreadsheet. I had no idea that there was an Arkhamverse tie-in animated movie. And I don't think the rest of the world did, because this was not great.
No, no.
So yeah, my history with like the Arkham like games in general, when they were coming out, I was not like a big like I was like into games as like a casual enjoyer and somebody who enjoyed consuming content about games. So I did like consume these games like through watching like let's plays and walkthroughs and that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But not like super deeply. And so that was like my initial experience with the games, right? Um and yeah, this was a movie.
This is a movie indeed. Yeah, I remember when this was initially coming out because there was a lot of hype, having a tie-in game to the Arkhamverse. All right, sorry, not tie-in game. Obviously, those are video games. Having a tie-in movie to the Arkhamverse because we also had around this time, I believe there was a DS game that eventually got ported to, like 360 and everything, so it's backwards compatible. I think it's on Steam. You can buy it. There's also Arkham Origins, which was created by Rocksteady Montreal, or I'm sorry, WB Montreal, which is an Origins to this universe. This takes place after that. Um, Also, like peak time in media where like some stuff has died down. Not everything needs to be cross media, but or you at least go into it knowing you're going to make a cross media project. This was an afterthought when they were thinking about cross media was starting to become a thing. Like, let's make everything. Let's make comic books out of this. There's a comic book prequel series for each game, or something like that. Or sequel series and things like that. There's this. There's this movie again. Those tie-in games on the other. Whether it be like the Origins with there's another studio or the Escape of Blackgate is the Metroidvania Batman game that was on
Mm-hmm.
DS and I think PSP or Vita. I forget which one. It might have been Vita. I feel like. Um,
Yeah, I think it probably would have been Vita, thinking about the
yeah, around
timeline.
that time. I've never played that. Origins is a big black hole in my gameplay of this series, only because I think I finally bought it on Steam and I just got a computer that could play it, and I'm like, well, now I don't have the time. I eventually have to get to it. I hear it's really good. A lot of people rave about it. And it's of course like any prequel that's really good, it doesn't get recognized by the rest of the main games per se. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this came out and it was like a wet fart when it initially released. I remember I watched it. It was not memorable. I see why in the second viewing. And then I do remember it kind of got a second life due to the popularity of the Suicide Squad within, I'm gonna say DC's New 52. They kind of built it up again as a thing. There's a lot of homages to the New 52 in this, but then as we were gearing up to that initial live action Suicide Squad movie, I don't know if you remember that trailer with was it Queen playing and stuff, and the
Oh
trailer
yeah.
looked so good, and the movie was shit. Mine's Margot Robbie. She killed it. Absolutely wonderful in that movie. Uh, but this kind of got like a second coat of paint. So real quick, you
Mm.
streamed, you rented it because God forbid, fucking David Zaslav again on this goddamn series have one of these goddamn movies on the goddamn app. Why?
Uh-huh. My favorite is apparently in November of 2023. According to a fucking Reddit post, it was on Max.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
We are solidly in mid 2024. Already gone.
The data says 8 months. 8 months post this being taken off of Max. Why? Again, it could be on Tubi. No, not on Tubi. I got a notification today. I forget that I have Tubi on my phone. I got a notification today that some fucking show is on. That's a Warner Brothers show is on Tubi. Well, you gotta be fucking kidding me, guys. Like, give me the commercials. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah. Right?
Just let me.
I'll watch it with ads. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll watch it
With
on your streaming platform. I will literally watch it anywhere you provide it.
yeah. Just provide it.
You're just not.
Give me
Yeah,
the-
just provide it.
I don't want. There's so many sketchy things I have to click off of on some corners of the internet to watch this movie. I watched it a different way. But when you rented it, I think
I tried to watch it another way.
yeah,
and it
so that even worked.
wasn't happening.
Even the pirates of the internet were like, "Nah, dude, don't even take your time with this."
Not worth it. Right, exactly.
When you rented it though, the cover, like the thumbnail, right? It's all green, right? Green and purplish.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
It's
I'm gonna.
not the one that's on IMDb. It was a little bit different.
I was gonna say the one on IMDb, I think was a little bit of an outlier. I think that might be the original one, because there's like two covers. Like there is a one that the IMDb one is what is kind of used now. Those are like the Suicide Squad colors for the DC live action universe. It's just they got like a second coat of paint when that movie came out, and there's no reason for it. But
Ridiculous.
Sly, I'm gonna go through the stars, and holy shit, the stars! Because you have a name. Yeah, you have a little note at the end here. We got Kevin Conroy reprising his role as Batman from the Arkhamverse. Neil motherfucking McDonough, who I love in everything, absolutely everything. The man could do no wrong. I love. Well, I don't know how he is personally. Hopefully, he's a good man. But
No.
I love him in every movie he does. He's a great bad guy. You know, he's just awesome. He just eats up the scene. I love it. Hayden Walsh, Matthew Gray Gubler himself, motherfucker who made us know about him, the killers because of him, allegedly. Troy Baker as his first time as a Joker in this series. Chris Cox, John DiMaggio, Giancarlo motherfucking Esposito, and this is like I guess Breaking Bad and everything's happening at this point, right? I don't know what the years of Breaking Bad are. Yeah, so it's like it kind of like makes
it was before this for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, motherfucker's like a huge star now. Jennifer Hale, the always amazing Jennifer Hale, who does so much amazing voice work. Nolan North is the only other person that I know reprising their voice role from the Arkhamverse as Oswald Cobblepot. And Andrea Romano herself, God herself in the voice acting world. Hey, yes, you have a note here. Jesus Christ, this movie has so many fucking names. Correct.
This wasn't even all of them. These were just
There's
the ones
so many
big
more.
enough that I felt necessary to mention. And that was still like I was trimming, and we still got like 3 lines worth of names to read here.
Dude, there is so many. It's ridiculous amount of names that you get in this. And then it's at one point it's like kind of sad because like you don't get everyone from the Arkhamverse. You know, you don't get your you don't get what's the name? We Harley, Hayden Welch does Harley. She doesn't unfortunately provide the voice in the games. That's Tara Strong. Gordon, I think, is not also from the games. I think Chris Cox.
So yeah, Gordon is different, but
He's
Gordon
Deadshot.
from the games is playing a different.
Yeah. So that is just.
Oh no, I reversed that. So the Deadshot is the new voice, but
Yes.
the old Deadshot is playing this Gordon.
Correct.
I think was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You are right.
We got there eventually.
So roundabout way, we got there. But yeah, no, this is insane. Like and this cast is ridiculous, which is a shame. Because this
Yeah, because like
this
the
movie,
performances were solid
yeah,
with what they were given.
mm-hmm,
Like they committed to the character choices being made.
mm-hmm.
However, you know, what
It
were they given?
exactly. So, with that being said, Sly, here's with the plot recap.
All right. In Gotham City, the Joker. God.
Soon.
All right, take that from the top. In Gotham City, the Riddler has secret information on the top secret Task Force X that he has threatened to make public. But before Amanda Waller can have him killed, he is captured by Batman. Now, with Riddler imprisoned in Arkham Asylum, Amanda Waller reassembles the Suicide Squad of captured supervillains with the mission to infiltrate the forensic mental hospital to retrieve Riddler's information. Led by Deadshot, this Black Ops team makes their way into the facility only to face complications from within and without the team, with secret agendas and double crosses all around. Meanwhile, Batman has his own concerns with an urgent search for the Joker's deadly bomb that threatens Gotham City. Dun dun dun! Eventually, all these players converge on Arkham Asylum for the showdown that few are going to escape alive. That was so fucking wordy.
That was.
Shout out to Kenneth Chisholm for
I would say.
performing that. Whatever. On IMDb, that was, a lot of words, and I
Yeah.
said most of them correctly, so
Yeah.
we're calling it good enough.
Yeah, listen, whatever words were incorrect, that's on Kenneth. We're looking at you, Kenneth. You failed us. So I hit us with the comic book characters as well.
Listen, okay, we got Riddler, we got Amanda Waller, we got Batman, we got Joker, we got Dent, we got Bane, we got Ivy, we got Gordon, we got this iteration of the Suicide Squad is Killer Frost, King Shark, Black Spider, Captain Boomerang, KG Beast, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot. Burr, burr, burr,
It
burr.
is
I
a
don't know what's up with
lot.
the sound effects today.
We need one of those little buttons. Like that's what I need. I need to make a little button when I get a Steam Deck, a Stream Deck. God damn it, I want a Steam Deck really bad.
Both of them. Why
Yeah,
not both?
why not both? Yeah. Uh, we'll have to do that, man. But this movie, a lot of great cameos, little fun nods, especially to the Arkham verse. Um, before we get into one of the big topics, and then I want to end it since it's very spoilery with our topics instead of starting with it. I wanted to mention you when you were putting like the what's the name, the studio and stuff, you put MOI animation. I believe that's how we pronounce it. We don't know. It's unfortunately they're a Korean company. They do amazing work though, as we found out. Like some of your favorite shows. um, just going
Mm-hmm.
through their list, we've already covered some of the stuff. It seems like they worked on, Mystery of the Batwoman. We have Justice League Unlimited. They worked on Avatar season 1, 2, and 3. I did mention Justice League Unlimited and Boondocks, Legion of Superheroes, which is a great series. The Spectacular Spider-Man, the Wonder Woman animated movie that we'll be covering very soon. A bunch of pretty much every movie from now on. Your beloved the Batman, 2004's
We
The
love the
Batman.
Batman 2004.
Yeah, one of my favorite anime series that does not get love. It's not DC or Marvel related, but GI Joe Renegades, very good
Mm.
series. Berserk, Ultimate Spider-Man. My God, like just going through year by year is insane to see with their portfolio, and I don't. They're just an underrated studio. They're just completely
Mm-hmm.
underrated, and we unfortunately have not given their flowers yet. So this is your time. This is your time with flowers. So congratulations, guys. You guys killed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing was, when I was putting together the host history, I usually just go off of IMDb. but I also had the like Wikipedia article up for I don't remember what I was referencing on there, but I was looking at it, and so I just pulled the studio from there, and I was like, oh, I see like DC Entertainment and this MOI Animation. I hadn't ever heard of them before, um, and then I looked at like the full list of the IMDb credits, and they're credited under like other companies instead of under like main production companies. So I guess they're just like another company that other studios use to like bolster their like
Yeah, probably like
final product or
support.
something,
Yeah, that's what I'm
support
thinking.
and stuff like that. But the amount of work and the quality of work on this portfolio
Yeah,
was absurd. So I definitely wanted to shout them out and mention that they've been here and we haven't been talking about it.
yeah.
And we will try to keep track of what they worked on going forward as well.
Yeah, man, that was really good. I mean, that was a good catch because I'm just shocked at the level of talent and things they produce is insane. Like absolutely insane
Hmm.
to see. Like again, Avatar seasons 1, 2, and 3. Me myself finally going through that series for the first time, episode by episode, like fully, not just like seeing a handful here and there.
Hmm.
What a fucking classic show! And then it's just like
Absolutely.
to see the work that these guys are putting in whatever capacity, they're doing amazing work. So shout out to you guys. Keep holding it down. I don't know. Hopefully you guys are still around. I see some credits stop after Castlevania. I hope you guys are still around. Uh, I hope you guys are working. Maybe you guys working on Nocturne. The new Castlevania show. I don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't want to look up that Wikipedia page right now and be sad. That's for another episode.
Fair enough.
But before we get to the final topic, because I wanted to do that since that's very spoilery, let's talk about the movie itself.
Hmm.
Just general thoughts. What did you think?
Yeah, my initial thoughts were um, that I love Riddler so much, and I was so excited to see him play more of a role in this movie, and then was promptly disappointed. It's fine. I have a lot of like neutral to strongly antagonistic opinions about most iterations of Amanda Waller. So, she was here. They
Yeah,
made choices with her. I have opinions about her character design throughout this movie. We'll get
I
into that in
I
a bit.
absolutely. I remember seeing it and like I was like, what are you thinking? Like, what are you
Hmm.
thinking? That was my first. I think one of my first notes. I'm like, why did they make Waller look like that? Because like it just feels fat phobic.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. It was definitely like it felt like they were trying to code her as like the antagonist, like the villain, and by they're trying to convey that by like making her like both fat and then also green in most of them.
yeah, like it
And
was really
then
weird.
like her size kind of changes throughout depending if she's on a screen or not, which was very like off-putting and like weird. But yeah, I was like, this that was a choice they made with their character, and that was a purposeful choice, and it was a
Yes.
bad choice.
Yeah.
Like as much as I hate Waller, like that's not
And that's
like
the whole
this is
point,
not the
right?
messaging we're sending
Yeah.
about her character.
Yeah, and like the whole point where everyone else has all these very unique angular designs. I'm trying to think, and then obviously we see Waller later on in this Arkham verse in Suicide Killed the Justice League, played by a different actress. In I want to say Deborah Messing. It's not Deborah Messing. I'm so sorry. Deborah Messing is awesome in movies. There's no way she's ever going to be in the Arkhamverse. The name escapes me right now. I do apologize, but she was in Mad TV. She's amazing. She's in Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order. Um, Amazing actors, but like her, obviously that design changes because it's more in line with the actress, and so she's thinner and everything like that. But like it felt like an in joke between them. Like, all right, she's such a piece of shit. Let's draw her like a whale. Like she looks
Mm-hmm.
like when you see the penguin, and he makes sense. I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
explain this and how it doesn't sound like almost contradictory, but like the penguin makes sense, right? We always seen Cobblepot. He's usually short, like a little stocky, most times, especially
kind
this
of
iteration.
portly.
Yeah, a little portly,
I
depending on who you get, what
mm-hmm,
iteration. Obviously in Gotham for most of the series, he's not. He's very skinny, frail, kind of meek.
mm-hmm,
And then at the end of the series, you see he put a little weight on. He got a little rich. He got that rich money.
mm-hmm.
He got that rich food now in his
But
belly.
that's the
So,
thing. He's like rich and like obscenely pale and like
hmm,
tends to be bigger because like that's the essence of the character. They're trying to
yeah,
show this like stuck up, rich, like mostly British, whatever, like dude, and that fits with how they're trying to
yeah. And,
portray this
and
character.
Waller, for most iterations, it's portrayed, as a bigger girl, and
But
which
it's
is,
usually more at least muscular, I think, because like I mean
yeah,
she's in
like
the military, right? Like that makes sense. She's like
she looks like she retired. Like she's retired
mm-hmm.
military.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to, be in the field. She could have the weight. Typically they never put her, like, she's like overweight, but never to this extreme that we see in this movie. Like, it's just obscene, honestly, in this movie. Like, it's obscene, the level of grotesque, like, features that they put on her. Like, her neck is like a whole other face almost, like how they draw her, and it's just oddly rude. It's just really oddly rude.
And so out of line with like how all the other characters are designed. And that was like one of my first thoughts was like the aesthetics of this movie, the look of the movie, how the like backgrounds versus the characters are being drawn felt like a little weird, a little incongruous, a little jumpy. It felt like they were always like constantly fluctuating.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like there was no visual consistency throughout this film.
No, honestly, it really doesn't feel that way. It's really frustrating. It is really just frustrating to see that, and it's just so strange, like a weird decision. Obviously, like, you can't see it right now. I was trying to screenshot it, but like how we have our episodes set up, at least for visual watchers. Unfortunately, we're blocking. I'm blocking Harley's face. You're blocking Killer Frost's face, so we can only see from under their chest down. So it's just their abs, and obviously they're incredibly toned women, which, okay, makes sense for their characters. But again, like, when you see, I mentioned that, this is funny because I try not to do this as well. Like, I feel like we have the running joke that you always date us, and then I always mention my adventures as Superman. Not to
Uh-huh.
keep beating a dead horse, but in my adventures as Superman, we have Waller, who does a really good job. She's amazing in the series. Portrayed this, very standard, like, old school, Amanda Waller, a little heavier, like business suits, things like that. But at the same boat, we also have Lois's father, General Lang.
Mm.
Sorry, General Lane, and he is, the character in My Image of Superman is Korean, so he is a Korean male, but it's very similar and very in line with Amanda, where he is
Mm-hmm.
also ex-military, so he's got muscles on his arms, but he's got a belly, and he's got a little bit of like
Mm-hmm.
a little fat right here,
Mm-hmm.
and but he's like a little bigger because he's retired
Yeah,
military.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
It fits the character they're trying to portray. Yeah.
yeah, and this one just felt it just felt like a mean joke. It's so
Mm-hmm.
weird for, especially, like, listen, I'm with you. I hate Waller, but that's the beauty of her character, right? Like, she is someone you
Yeah.
absolutely despise. Like, she
Mm-hmm.
is a main villain. She's up there with the Lexes. She's up there with, anyone you could think of when it comes to, like, a villain. She is that good. As a matter of fact, current comic continuity wise, she is the main bad guy for the big summer event that is going on right now with
There
Absolute
you go.
Power. So that's what we're dealing with right now. She is that
Mm-hmm.
A level threat, and I don't know, it just felt weird. Voice acting wise, CCH Powder delivered as she did in Justice League, the animated series, and Justice League Unlimited. Did a great job here as well. Character wise, very aligned with what we've seen before. It's just the design, which is just
Mm-hmm.
horrifying, absolutely horrifying. It's
Yeah.
just, it took me out. It took me out of it. And every design is weird as shit. Don't get me. They're very angular, which is fine. It's okay. It's very video game esque. They all have weird shit about them. Like Killer Croc's got the metal jaw.
The whole time it felt like they were fluctuating between trying to emulate the animated series, trying to emulate the video game, and then also simultaneously try to have their own completely unique style. I'm like, pick a lane. I don't
Yeah,
care which 3 of the lanes you pick. Just pick one of them and stick to it.
this is a very
Um,
cloak classic like thing I'm gonna reference here, but it felt like Arkham, the Arkhamverse via Aeon Flux. Like those
mm,
designs. If you ever seen the animated series, it's which is very rare. Not a lot of people have seen that show. It's a very early '90s weird fucking show, but those are very angular designs as well. That's what it felt like. It felt like the Arkhamverse via
there you go.
Aeon Flux, and it was just very. It was cool. It was fine. You had to do something, right, to distinguish yourself from
Hmm.
the rest of what we get in the DC universe. But it was just strange all around.
And then I had one more thought
Mm.
on the visuals. The very first fight scene we see in this movie includes consistently flashing lights and like a faux like shaky can
I forgot about that.
animation throughout this entire fight scene. Um, and A, I don't do flashing lights, and B, I don't do shaky cam. And so the whole sequence made me want to puke a little bit. I literally just like looked away until it was done.
Hey, was that
But
the
we did get
dubstep
that
war?
throughout. Yeah,
Yeah,
the rest of the movie completely different like vibe, completely different fight scenes. Just that opening one, they made some choices.
yeah. Yeah, let's talk about some of our little little things we wanted to mention about the movie itself. I put a joke here. I was like, I love that Harley's watching Looney Tunes in the very beginning,
Hmm.
before she rips
Yeah.
the woman's ear off. I love the fight scene was
Before
pretty
she like
cool.
bites the, doesn't she like bite the ear off?
Hmm.
Iconic. Love that for
Yeah,
her.
it's like dangling off her lips as she's watching Bugs Bunny. Um, we mentioned, why did they make Waller look like that? This one thing that made me laugh. There's a few costume things that make me laugh in this that really get me. But when they're initially kidnapped by
Mm.
the task force and the U.S. government to be part of the task force again, or some of the newbies, who dresses them? Because they're all in their supervillain outfits when they wake up. So someone had to get them
Hmm.
naked and put their clothes on.
That's a great fucking question. I have
Yeah,
no idea. Some poor grunt was
yeah.
like, oh, fuck, I gotta wrangle them into their fucking spandex costume
And
again.
whoever's the new newbie had to get Nanawe, had to get King Shark. And that's the
Hmm.
scary. They did that on purpose. That was hazing. That's how
Absolutely.
that's how
Yeah.
you get into Belle Reeve. What do I gotta do? Yeah, you gotta dress King Shark. What? No, I don't want to do that. That's how you're the new guy. You got to do this. who who pulled Harley Quinn duty? Waller's doing that herself. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. We're all gross.
Mhm.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But
My favorite thing
no, no, go ahead.
is
Yeah.
at the beginning of this movie we met all these characters, and I went, there's so many of them here, like so many different obscure rogues we're pulling in. How are they gonna make us care about any of them? Spoiler: the answer is they don't.
They don't. They don't.
Like
Uh,
the only person you can like feel vaguely sympathetic towards here is Deadshot.
that's it, really.
And that's
And
it.
then you play the
That's the
games, and he's
closest.
like, "Does it really matter?" And he plays Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League, like, does it really fucking matter now? None of this matters. Spoiler for this movie: none of this fucking matters in the long run of
None of
things,
it
except
matters.
for like two of these characters, Captain Boomerang and Harley. Are the ones that like consistently get some kind of storyline out of this movie, out of Origins, out of Asylum, City, Night, and now Suicide, Killer Justice League. They're the only ones.
Unfortunately, Captain Boomerang is fucking insufferable in this movie.
He's in
Couldn't fucking
every.
stand him.
Oh my god, he's the worst.
Like
I was.
usually he's like obnoxious and annoying. Like that's like part of his character. He was fucking insufferable. I couldn't stand him. I wanted to sock him in the jaw. Jesus
It's
Christ.
it's bad. It's bad. Dude, I played the beta for Suicide Squad. We're gonna get into Suicide Squad because this is the best chance to talk about it. Then, and I know with the caveat, I have not played the full game. I know someone's gonna complain about it. Um, but I played the beta, me and Maria, when they did the alpha and beta access, and I think I texted him. I was like, dude, Captain Boomerang fun to play as because he has a little bit of this like Speed Force thing. He's got like some kind of device that lets him like travel fast. God, I hate his like dialogue. It was killing me. I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, I get it. He's annoying, but like, Jesus, tone it down a little bit, man. Um, though now something interesting just came up to my brain because there's a Nanawe in Suicide Kill the Justice League, but he's dead in this. Spoilers. That's
Very dead.
not gonna think too much about that. Yeah, but that was the first thing. That was the first red flag for me. I was like, who dressed these people? Who put this? Who put these clothes on them? And I love to think, yeah, there had to be some grunt that had to put Killer Shark in his outfit, and maybe Deadshot. You know who the scariest one? Someone had to do Boomerang, which he probably smells. He probably smells like Foster's, like dried Foster's beer, and other like just whatever a kangaroo's pouch smells like. You know. Sorry, Australia. I love you guys. Well, we lost this podcast there. Damn it. I can't think because you know how gross this universe is, the Arkhamverse or just DC in general. Sometimes there had to be a couple dudes like I'll do Killer Frost. I'm like, get out of here, Johnson. You're fucking gross. You gotta go to HR yet again. There's like one guy taking his job seriously.
Have HR in here?
No, yeah. HR is the Waller. You just get shot in the fucking face. But God,
Speaking
man.
of people being gross, we're gonna take a shot for this show's second sex scene.
Yeah, and it involves Harley.
Second Harley Quinn sex scene on the show. That was bold.
Yeah, I know that they wanted to touch upon the famous scene from the New 52. I think it's like issue 2 of Suicide Squad, but not necessary, man. It's just weird.
Also, this is a PG-13 movie.
There's a lot of almost
How they
nudity.
got away with that?
There's a lot of almost nudity in this movie. Like
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, surely it's not a question at all. I put a note here. Like I'm sure Deadshot has bruises where he didn't think he'd ever have bruises after his tryst with Harley.
Yeah. That tracks.
Yeah.
Love that for him.
Yeah, Harley. To talk about her escapades, pegs me as somebody. Well, that phrasing on that one.
Would you let Harley Quinn peg you? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, yes, but listen, that's beside the point. I'm very open, okay? It's a spectrum. Sexuality is a spectrum.
Accurate.
But like,
anyways, you were saying.
Yeah, it's. I feel like you don't have sex with Harley. Harley has sex with you. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Which tracks for what we've seen so far.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Yeah, actually, yeah.
The next iconic Harley moment is her trying to murder her abuser. We love that for her.
Yeah.
I wish she succeeded, but you know, she did her best.
I truly. It's funny, especially the second time. I was like, oh, she just got Joker. I was like, I don't honestly think she was really trying to get him out that time. I think she really was trying to kill him. And then he got out, and she's like, well, back to this. This is gonna be sad.
Fortunately.
Like, yeah. I did mention I'd love to hear that when she gets captured before she goes back into Arkham, like through their plot. Batman captures her. His lenses come down for like his detective vision, which is like a game staple. And I love this like lie detector. She's telling the truth. I'm like, yo, way to steal from Daredevil, dude. Stay in your lane. That's Mets, okay? He's got like a couple of things to him, okay?
He's got one thing
he's a fucking walking lie detector, you piece of shit. I also mentioned here, why Yahtzee as her catchphrase? Yahtzee for everything.
It was apparently fucking Joker's catchphrase, and she just yeeted it.
Yeah, that's right, because you did mention it. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, that was sure a catchphrase.
It was used quite often for different degrees of what was going on.
honestly a little excessive.
Yeah,
If they had maybe toned down like one or two of those, it would have been a fun bit. But uh, as they do with bad movies, they love to run a bit into the ground.
they
And
beat this
this one sure did.
motherfucker like it was a dead horse.
I thought you were gonna say like it was a dead Robin.
Damn it, I should have. That's even better. Not like we've been sharing sad Jason Todd TikToks to each other all week.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
so
The
sad.
amount of sad Jason Todd
There's so
TikToks
many.
you've tagged me in. There's
There's
so
so
many.
many. Um, the fights are really good in this. I will give them that. That's like the highlight for me in this movie. Is like how good they
Yeah,
translate, especially
except for the first
like
one,
yeah,
they were all incredible. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And there's a couple of things that like Batman does specifically that is in the game that is translated really
Mhm.
well here. Like the detective vision, him coming down, grappling, hearing the line catch as he's going down the rope. The fights with anything with him were really well done. It's funny though, I when you play Arkham, even just giving Arkham Asylum like just a little time here. When you play like let's say Arkham Asylum, everything seems heightened because of what Joker is doing in Asylum with the Titan stuff and like souping up Ivy and doing all this crazy shit and fighting Bane and the end of that game where you fight Titanized Joker. Everything feels like heightened. The Arkhamverse is fucking scary. Like the second that there's a jailbreak at the end of this movie and fucking
Hmm.
Bane gets pumped up and he's crazy and like, all right, I'm used to that. I know Bane, but like everyone just seems so OP in this game that this Batman is like just fighting the fucking tidal wave constantly. It's quite impressive.
Hmm.
Because even Joker gets his licks in. Like this Joker's a little
Yeah.
more capable physically than most Jokers we see, and that it puts it more in perspective. Like when you play that game, like why am I getting my ass whooped by Joker? It's like, well, because he knows how to
He's
fight.
kind of
Apparently,
a badass,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah. This
What
one
happened to the
has hands.
fucking nerdy ass failed comic? Like,
Yeah, when did he start? Who taught him how to fight? Was it Harley? Like, did Harley teach
oh
him
my
how to fight?
god.
There's also that mild jealousy he has, which is almost cute if he wasn't a
Hilarious.
giant piece of shit. It
Yeah, if he was anywhere else, that would have been adorable.
was like, oh, you kind of care, you crazy
Yeah,
abuser.
exactly. I really loved that they just like pulled out fucking everyone for this movie. You had
Literally
million people.
everyone.
By the time like Victor Zsasz shows up, I'm like, wow, we're like literally every single random ass DC character you could think of. They're like, we're at least gonna see him.
Yeah, and it feels almost like if you're doing it from Batman's perspective, right? Not following the Suicide Squad, you're in your head. You're like, yeah, it's probably like some kind of side mission Batman's on the whole time. Like, God forbid, who else he's fighting that night? Like, we don't even know. Um, I do like. There's a mention of Arkham Origins when he he calls him Deadhead. He's like, did we work before Deadhead? And it's like that's because he hired him for the bounty on Batman on in Origins.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, you even get Scarecrow. I mean, for like a split couple seconds, which is
Oh
like
yeah.
every almost main villain of the Arkhamverse gets some time to shine, even if it's like a split second here. I was kind of bummed though we didn't get any Catwoman. I didn't think about that till
Mm,
just right now, and she plays a
yeah,
big part in
that is
City and
unfortunate.
Night. And
Hmm.
mentioned a lot in Asylum, but like it plays a pivotal role in City and Night. I was like, oh,
They just could only animate so many boobs,
yes,
you know?
so many, yeah. Like there's a 4 quota, 6 quota, maybe. That's a question for later.
Speaking of people getting their moments, my boy Alfred got his moment
He
in this
did.
movie, and
We
it
got
was
some sassy
fucking
Alfred.
hilarious. The fucking her puddin fucking killed me.
I love me. We always talk about it. When we get sassy Alfred, it's fucking golden. And
Oh,
this is
saucy Alfred.
did not change that. That was awesome. Um,
Mm-hmm.
anything you want to shout out specifically, other than the random KG Beast, how he passed away quickly. This
Yeah, that was you. You always have to have a sacrifice. You got to prove like how the Suicide Squad works.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad it was him because I was like, what kind of janky ass caricature stereotype are they gonna do with him? And then they didn't. They just murdered him. So that was something. Shout out to the dark Dr. Harleen mentioned. She talked about her time working at Arkham instead of
Hmm.
being inside Arkham. Well, we got a little bit of both. She was the Arkham expert on the team. Love that for her. I loved the bait and switch. You had a note about the costuming on the bait and switch. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, that was great. So it's not out of the realm of possibility, especially when you play the games that he like does the voice match thing. I think there's like a item he has where he can do something like that. So at one point, Batman switches out with Black Spider, who's played by Giancarlo Esposito, and so Giancarlo is just like walking around. All right, does he have two? That's the other question. Now I'm starting to get more questions. Giancarlo, oh, so Black Spider is walking around in the full Batman suit, cowl and all,
Mhm.
just stumbling. I guess he can't really talk, and as this is all going on, Batman has infiltrated the Suicide Squad as Black Spider in full regalia, like full mask.
Mhm.
All the MacGuffin stuff, Riddler stops them from, not having their bombs being exploded, except for, rest in peace, King Shark. Because unfortunately his skin's
R.I.P.
too
Yeah.
thick. Yeah, his skin's, and it
Sure. Okay.
that bubbles
Whatever.
up so gross. Like his neck looks so disgusting and disordered. But right before Joker's about to kill what he perceives as Batman,
Mhm.
uh, Batman's head blows off. He's like, "Damn, what a good gun," which is a great joke. That guy actually got a laugh out of me.
Yeah.
Uh, and then it turns out Riddler knew this whole. I love that Riddler's just sitting on this info this whole time. He was
Of
like, "You guys
course he
haven't
did.
figured this out? That's
Fucking
Batman."
Edward Nigma. Love that for him.
I love that he knew from jump. He's like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun,"
Yeah.
and then he pulls out a gun. It's like,
Absolutely.
"Now I will shoot you." But yeah,
Mhm.
Batman then proceeds to throw a smoke bomb. We never see him take his mask off, but like next thing you know, he's got the fucking cowl on and the rest of Black Spider's suit on. The
Mhm.
cowl, for
It's
reference,
a
in
great look.
yeah, the cowl though in Arkhamverse is about that long. Like for context, it's about like he has
For the
the
audio
longest.
listeners, Carlos is holding up a whole ass water bottle.
Yeah,
What is it? Is
it's
that a 40 ounce? Are we rocking the same water bottle right now?
a Walla.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This was a gift
Yeah.
from my
Love
niece.
that for us.
We're not sponsored. We will take that sponsorship though.
No, but I genuinely love this water bottle. Again, not sponsored. However, I got this. It was like a fad water bottle, like I don't know, a year and a half, 2 years ago, and I
Mm.
got it, and then unfortunately, it's even better than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So shout out, still
Yeah,
going strong.
it
Love it
really does
pieces.
work for it. Yeah, I love it. And then
Mhm.
this is cool. Now again, not sponsored. You can customize the little inside thing. So I bought like a 6 pack. So I got a blue one for me. This is a gift. So this is
Heck
a
yeah,
nice gift. Thanks, Ari.
that's awesome.
um, but yeah, so yeah, for reference, this big ass water bottle. That's how long Batman's bat ears are on the cowl.
Uh-huh.
They are obscenely long, and they always are in the Arkham series. The motherfucker just takes his mask off. Like, do they just point back up? Like, what happens there? Like,
Were
then
they
he's
folded down? Were
yeah.
they folded back? Do they like collapse? Do
They're
they
so
spring back
pointy
up?
too.
Like,
They're
wow.
so like needle point at the end as well. Like that might
Uh-huh.
as well be a fucking like batarang at some point. Like you could take the cowl off and just fucking throw it, like Sailor Moon style. But it's insane. Like when you see it, like what the fuck just happened, and then of course you get the fight with them too. Um, how about the blink and you miss it Killer Frost death? She probably gets it honestly the worst.
Yeah.
Because hers is just accidental. She's literally like a bystander. She gets in a car, and that car happens to be the one that Bane wanted to pick up to use as a weapon, and just hucks it. And that's how she
Yeah.
dies.
And like theoretically you could like say she pulled a Joker, but that girl is dead. Like
Yeah, she's actually dead. Yeah, no freezing is gonna help her at
yeah.
that last second.
Uh-huh.
Man, that was
Yeah. R.I.P.
that's the one that made me laugh. That's actually the one that I literally was like, that's a fucking shitty way to go, man. Like everyone else, yeah, okay, bomb explode or crazy shit. No, that was just fucking unfortunate.
Hmm.
And she
Yeah.
helped so much. She helped the league so much, like or the Suicide Squad so
It's
much
like
in this movie.
60% of all of their plans working effectively
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just her
She
doing
managed
the
to
thing.
calm down Shark with her feminine wilds. You know,
Uh-huh.
and she helps him cross the bridge, and she does all this stuff. She gets Enigma, and she's working with Waller, and she's like, "Wait, no, this is actually really bad."
Yeah.
Just to get thrown in a car for like no.
Just to get baned.
Yeah, yeah, she got pained. That's exactly what happened. God, what a way to go. And then it the fake out ending with
Mm.
Deadshot just
Mm-hmm.
pretending to shoot her. It was like, come on, man, really? We know she's not dead. We play these
Yeah.
games, man.
It would have been even funnier if he did shoot, and then she also magically reappeared back to life.
Hey, listen, with what happens in Suicide Kill the Justice League, there's a there's a big world of possibilities now. Thanks, multiverse.
Before we get there,
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Batsy only saving Harley out of the frickin' helicopter. Is it sexist or is it chivalrous? Discuss.
Mm. This Batman specifically, I could see him just doing it just to be a dick. You know what I mean?
All
Like
right, I'll take that answer.
I'm
Yeah.
saving Harley just to be an asshole to both Joker if he somehow survives, and B to Harley because
Mm-hmm.
now I took something away from her. I'm just being an asshole here.
Mm-hmm.
Like any other iteration would be like, oh, like he knows she's a victim, like she's not the
Mm-hmm.
worst thing in the universe. Like constantly in the animated universe, the Diniverse, he's trying to help her along in
Yeah.
different ways. There's that one day where like he spends a whole day with her and helps her, and then like she gives him a kiss on the cheek or something. He's like, what? I'm like, aw, thanks. He's like, you're a good guy, Batsy, or whatever. Like this one, he just feels like an asshole. He's like, yeah, fuck it, I don't give a fuck. Like I want Joker. The last thing he sees if he does that is me holding his girl
Love
and
that.
saving her.
Honestly, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, especially too if you play Night, right? Or is it? Yeah, it's Night. Or no, City or Night. There's like the whole plot of like the fake pregnancy and stuff that happens with Harley and how she's sad about Joker and everything that's going. Yeah, so it has to be Night. Um, again, it just feels like he's being a dick. Like much of what this Batman does, it feels like he's just putting out fires constantly left and right. And he's like, I don't have time for anybody's bullshit. I don't have time for fucking Dick's bullshit. I don't have time for Tim's bullshit. I don't have time for anyone's bullshit. I need to get this shit done. Can you help me or not?
Emotional competency, who's he?
Yeah, not this, especially not this version. We get to see that after, and again, the brief time that we don't actually get to see it, but we get to hear it when he joins the Justice League. I was like, oh, look, now he's nice. Too late.
Alright. Okay. Do you have any final thoughts before we get to our last conversation theme here?
No, no, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Carlos, I have a very important question for you.
Yeah.
Please explain to me the plot of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, the video game.
So, after the definitive ending that was Arkham Knight, which
Mm-hmm.
in itself, Arkham Knight, a pretty decent game. If you somehow like the Batmobile combat in that, you're a masochist. And, okay, then it's a great game to you. If you somehow didn't see the reveal that the Arkham Knight himself, 15 minutes into it, the first time you see it, is Jason Todd. Spoilers for that. You're also like this game was made specifically for you because the second they showed the Arkham Knight from jump, because I get to talk about this and I don't get to talk about Arkham Knight often. It's Jason Todd. You can hear it's Jason Todd. It sounds like Jason Todd, even though we never heard what this Jason Todd sounds like. Everything about him sounds like and feels like something Jason Todd would do in a different universe. And spoilers, it's Jason Todd. It's fucking Jason
Love
Todd.
that. You
It's
called
Troy
it.
Baker playing Jason Todd, which is funny.
Mhm.
because of his contribution to the Arkhamverse. But then after that, you get this definitive ending where everyone knows Bruce Wayne's Batman, and he blows up Arkham Manor. Alfred looks like he's dead. Batman looks like he's dead. And then somehow, 5 years later, um, the Justice League is around with a Batman. Now, if you're asking what, how, what the fuck, that doesn't make sense because this takes place in the Arkhamverse. It's definitively in the Arkhamverse.
I would ask you, who's playing Betsy?
And guess what? It's Bruce Wayne. Superman
All right.
and the rest of the league come to Gotham. They're like, hey, we know you're not dead. We need you to come out of hiding. Let's work together. And the world just is like cool with Batman, and they know he's Bruce Wayne. I guess he lives in the fucking Justice League headquarters. Again,
Like
this
constantly in the Watchtower, just hanging out in space. All right.
yeah, or the Hall of Justice, which is in Metropolis. The amazing Kevin Conroy comes back. Unfortunately, it's his final vocal role game wise as Batman.
What a
Full
game to
spoilers.
have on.
Yeah, full spoilers. The game is called Kill the Justice League. They killed the Justice League.
Wow, I'm so shocked.
Right?
I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah. And there's no alternate universe stuff. I mean, there is some shenanigans, but like, there's no alternate universe Justice League that got taken over by Brainiac. Nope. This is the first time you ever see Barry Allen, the Flash, in the Arkhamverse, and he's dead. It's the first time you ever see John Stewart, Green Lantern, in this universe, and he is dead. It's the first time you ever see Diana Prince, Wonder Woman herself, the goddess of war. She is dead. It's the first time you ever fucking see Superman in this universe, and he's fucking dead. And then finally, this is the final time you see Bruce Wayne, and he's shot in the fucking head by Harley Quinn.
Damn. Not my girl Harley.
Yeah. Yep. She's point blank in the head while it's raining in some kind of gutter. Shot in the head.
DC fucking redeem Harley Quinn in one property ever? I'm watching you.
Yeah. Just do it once. I mean, I guess we have to start watching Harley Quinn, the TV show. That's has to be
I guess we do. Yeah.
Yeah, where Kaylee Cuoco's out of nowhere, like, I've been telling you guys. Like, yeah, that's fair. Like, my Harley's gay. I'm married. Come on, guys. It's like, oh yeah, sorry. That's on us.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
I'm so behind on everything. I'll get there eventually.
Same. But that's the Suicide Squad win. They're the ones who defeat Brainiac in this universe, and now they have to go to different. That's the whole catch of this, like, games as a service, Marvel's Avengers style game, is that now they're going into different universes to either recruit like a female version of Victor Freeze, so Mrs. Freeze. I think that's the next character that's coming up. DLC wise, there's a Joker, who I believe is gay, from another universe. And he's being recruited to fight Brainiac of his world, and so it's like, I mean, it's a way
Not
for
them
DLC and stuff.
Queering the villains. Gross.
I'm not, I'm straight, obviously, so it's hard for me to be like, something about a gay Joker though. Sounds fun. Like, maybe he's not an abuser in this world. Maybe he just like, I like crime, and I don't like Batman. I'm chaotic.
Yeah.
I'm not like evil.
That'd be fun.
Like, maybe he's with a Harley, and like, it's not. Maybe it's a dude. Maybe they're together, and he's like really nice to that Harley. I haven't played the game to know. Because I'm like, oh, I'll justify you doing crime. Like, I get it. Gotham's hard, and you look like a clown.
I'm a fucking Jason Todd stan. You think I'm gonna have morals about crime?
Yeah, exactly. But it's just weird to see, I think I put as my note here, like, the Suicide Squad prevails, long live Task Force. It's just weird to see that Waller won. Like, this Waller that we see in this movie, the Waller that, we know to be this A-list bad guy that we've talked about at the beginning of this episode, wins in this universe. And there's nothing, and I don't believe there's a Tim Drake in this universe either. I think because Batman got taken over, I believe he killed Tim. So this Batman dies knowing he killed his Robin. I think Dick Grayson might be dead. I don't know where Jason is at the end of Arkham Asylum or Arkham Knight, in between that and this, but it's just weird because I know obviously a lot of us fanboys and things like fans of this series have been like, oh my god, this is how you end the Arkhamverse. It is strange, don't get me wrong. But at the same
Mhm.
token, the game is called Kill the Justice League.
Yeah.
You
They
are,
put it on the
yeah,
tin.
yep. And marketing wise, you did right. That you said it, you did it. I'm proud of you. But it is weird at the same boat to see such beloved versions of Batman just get taken out like nothing,
Hmm.
like a boss battle. Like it's very
And it's
strange.
such like a iconic series to follow up with that being the
Hmm.
premise of like your like next installment in this universe. Kind of feels sacrilegious, you know?
Yeah, it does. It does feel weird, and I I think this game obviously there's other issues like you were talking about I think earlier this week, not this week but this year on Pip that you were revisiting Marvel's Avengers. That's a game as a service
Hmm.
that has an amazing story. Honest to God, that story is phenomenal.
One of my
Yeah,
favorite iterations of Bruce fucking Banner.
yeah,
Like, that story is good.
yeah.
Unfortunately, like with the game it's packaged in, the story is strong. Like getting the whole like old man Hawkeye arc with like
Oh my God,
the future stuff. Like there's
Maestro.
like
Yeah,
good stuff.
the
Yeah.
Wakandan stuff is really fun to
I haven't
see.
played through most of the Wakanda stuff,
Ooh, it is
but
fun. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Seeing Bucky, his missions are fun. Like Spider-Man, if you play on PlayStation, that's fun to play as a little bit. But like the gameplay is always like, and to see this
Mhm.
game both kind of fail story-wise, and then at the same time also fail gameplay-wise, is like, what happened from like Arkham Asylum to here? Like
Mhm.
where did the disconnect come? And I don't know if story wise you put this game in an Elseworld, one of the many multiverses
Mhm.
that we see in this game, would it not get the controversy that it got? What if this like, hey, this is not part of the Arkhamverse? Yeah, we killed Batman, but
Mhm.
that's not this Batman's not that Batman. Yeah, you saw Superman
Absolutely.
for one time, but like that's not the Superman. you know,
Mhm.
that's not that universe of Superman. Like, would it have been a little easier pill to swallow? Maybe, but it's just weird for this series to end foreseeably because financially this game did not do well either. To see, for all intents and purposes, this universe just die out the way it does, it's like, it
Yeah.
just sucks. It just sucks
Yeah.
for our characters that we
Absolutely.
love, to see them go out
Mhm.
specifically this way, and they're kind of taken out jokingly and all this other stuff, and it's like a
You
throwaway
know what
thing.
doesn't suck? Some of the iconic quotes in this very bad movie.
With that, let's get to drama class. Good segue.
Thank you.
All right, so we got two quotes for drama class this week.
Mhm.
They both involve the Joker and Deadshot. Oh,
Yes,
and
they
there's
do.
Captain Boomerang as well. Uh,
Unfortunately,
yeah,
he
as
does make
always.
an appearance.
Who do you want to be? You want to be Joker for both of them?
I would love to be Deadshot for at least one of them.
All right, let's. I'll have you be Joker for the first one, and then
Okay,
Deadshot for the second one. I'll
deal.
do Deadshot and Captain Boomerang.
Cool. I start. Great.
Yeah.
You, new guy. I don't like people touching my stuff.
Go ahead. You're out of bullets.
I am not.
You are. You're going to pull the trigger, and when nothing happens, I'm going to punch you in the throat and bash your brains out. 3, 2, 1.
Hold on. Stop. Counting for a second. I know there are bullets. Pew. See?
Got punches Joker, who grabs Harley and tumbles down the laundry chute with her. Mate, you just out crazy the Joker. That was actually a great line because he
As
really
he,
did.
He really did.
My man stared into the abyss, and the abyss did not look back. All right, and then next is climactic scene. Fight between Joker and Deadshot again. I'll start. For someone who's not Batman, you've been a real pain in my ass. Deuce is the new guy.
Have a seat, Puddin'.
What a great line. What a great line. That also feels like
that
such a
fight
dig.
scene was incredible.
That was, yeah. It was brutal, man. That, again, the Joker that we get in the Arkhamverse, man, he has some moves because he almost guts straight up Deadshot because he slices across.
He guts him multiple times.
Yeah, he stabs him in the shoulders. He's already got the 2 panes of glass
on the back.
Oh my god, dude! Like, he's in incredible pain. But this Floyd Lawton. Oh, fun shot. That's the other thing I wanted to mention about Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League before we finish. This Deadshot doesn't matter. There is another Deadshot.
He's not their Deadshot.
No, he's apparently from from a different universe. This whole time, doesn't even matter. Not his daughter. Don't know. Who cares? That might be his daughter from the other universe, and they came together to this universe. I don't know. But the Deadshot we see, it has a lot more melanin on him in Kill the Justice League, and they make that joke constantly. Right. I think Captain Boomerang just makes a straight up joke. Like, you're like, man, weren't you white last time? Like, and then there's some and how they show their story is through audio tapes, because that's how you do that in Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League.
How else are you gonna tell story in a video game?
Yeah, how else are you gonna explain why this Deadshot looks nothing like the Deadshot we see in this movie? So many reasons. But again, that game is that game, and it's gonna be free on Prime Day. It doesn't matter because this episode is coming out way after Prime Day, so hopefully you picked it up if you want to actually play it. But anyway, let's go to quiz time. You have some questions this time, Sly, instead of me.
I have once again hijacked quiz time. So my first question is, how many of the Arkham games do you think I own, and how many minutes do you think I've played of them?
I'm gonna guess you have the Arkham collection. So that's Asylum City and Night. But I'm going to give you like an hour tops in Asylum.
Okay. You're close. I have the Return to Arkham collection, which was Asylum and City. And then I also have separately Night. And you were way too generous. I have not opened either of the 3 game files.
Never once. They somehow have like digital dust.
Correct. I think I got them for a total of like $5.39 or something.
Yeah, that sounds about
right. All right. Question number 2. So that was half a point. You get half a point for that.
There we go.
Good enough. How many boobs do we see over the course of this movie?
Okay. I want to say 3 pairs. Right? Because you get Harley. She's topless. Killer Frost is topless, which that also doesn't make sense. And then we get a lot of cleavage with Ivy, which is her normal costume in the Arkhamverse until Suicide Squad. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole again.
Oh, I didn't even talk about that. At one point, Ivy, her character's design fucking ridiculous. But at one point, she's wearing a straight up like a plant thong, and I'm like, who the fuck? Anyways. Okay, so final answer 3. The answer I was looking for was way too many for a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, honestly, like Harley and Killer Frost might as well just have one finger over each nipple. That's how much of the boob we saw. Like, there was much boob.
So much boob. Like,
I think I know the circumference of each of their breasts. Like, by the end of this, it's insane. And like, Harley makes sense to a certain degree because it's a sex scene, but like Frost doesn't at all. Why? Why wasn't she just in like her supervillain costume and then like some kind of Arkham jumper on top? I don't know, man. This is weird.
I don't know.
That's a lot of question. Yeah, and Ivy, of course. Yeah, that's her normal. That's her normal Arkham Asylum outfit.
Freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 3. How many broken white boys, and that is a gender inclusive boys, did I fall in love with during this movie?
Okay, so Harley, Floyd, maybe Killer Shark. He's kind of got that. Well, definitely not Captain Boomerang. That guy can go to hell. I'm gonna say
I
3.
can get. All right, that was way too generous. The answer was 0 because they didn't make me care about any of these characters.
I was like, maybe
Like,
Floyd. He has a daughter.
okay, he was close and only because he had a child. Like, if they had given me like an ounce more of Deadshot, I would have been hooked. So like, he was borderline. I would have taken him as the answer. I love Harley. I love Harley so much. This Harley was not giving much, unfortunately.
No, this
Very
Harley's
sad to say.
rough. This Harley is really rough, which sucks. I have a hard time with this Harley. Like, I like Harley across the multiverse. It's kind of like Doctor Strange with what's her name, his girlfriend in those movies. But it's like I do love her
Fucking
generally.
Christine.
Christine, yeah, Christine Palmer. There we go. I love you in every multiverse. Um, but it's she doesn't have any character development relationship wise, right? In this, you see that she's like, "Fuck the Joker, fuck him, he hurt me, he's a piece of shit," and then the second he's free, like it's like she's like back to it.
Hmm. And I
Like,
get like being forced back into an abusive situation and like falling back on your coping skills to survive that or whatever. But like, I don't love how they hypersexualized her. I don't love that like immediate like switch. Like there was no grappling with
no,
that. Like she was like a strong, like independent character in the middle, but at the beginning and the end, they like totally just like it was just like she's Harley, she's hot and sexy and completely in love with the Joker and will go along with all of his plans. And
yeah, you
I
don't
don't know.
get
I
any of
wanted more
the
from her.
yeah, you don't get any of the character development that Marco Robbie gets, that Kaylee Cuoco
Hmm.
gets, that
Hmm.
Arlene Sorkin and Tara Strong get in the animated series to a certain degree, even because even when you watch that, right? She falls into the trap of going back to. We mentioned this in the Dini verse, like seeing her go with the Joker, go to Arkham, finally be able to get out, work at that shitty superpower Hooters, and then
Hmm.
kind of own herself. But then eventually, because of Batman Beyond, we know that she falls back in line, which is sad. It's like it's bittersweet and sad,
Hmm.
but like
The tragic, yeah.
yeah, that has like a time frame that feels like it's over time, and even then, when everything happens, she moves on. She has her own life. Like the second he dies, it's like she's free finally, right? We
Free,
know that
yeah.
she has some kind of family because she has
Hmm.
granddaughters, so you can
I'm
make
pretty sure
what you
she
want.
kidnapped those granddaughters.
Yeah, most likely. Yeah, that's
It
probably
was
why they fucked up.
probably a consensual kidnapping, but still,
Better than
she
Bruce.
has a family. Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Don't get me started about Bruce Wayne kidnapping all of his children.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, at least you kind of get some development there. Margot Robbie, this Suicide Squad movie and that one have the same trope where she's like just the sexy Harley and all this stuff. And thank God for Margot Robbie, absolutely just being an amazing actor and killing it in the role for that movie. Because when you eventually see Harley in her own movie in The Birds of Prey,
Hmm.
and you're like, oh wow, and they make a note like, not with Joker anymore, on my own think, I'm
Hmm.
kind of chaotic neutral, kind of bad,
Yeah.
but more chaotic neutral. Assembling the birds of prey, doing all this amazing fights that we talked about before, and then see her back in the Suicide Squad, and it feels like the same Harley we've seen in Birds of Prey. There's no like she feels like part of the team. They care about her. Like Rick Flag cares about her. Peacemaker just meets her and he kind of cares about her, you know, in that movie. The whole saving thing, like, we're gonna save you. He's like, oh well, I can go back in and you guys can save me. Like it doesn't feel like a sexualized thing. It just feel like I can go. I'm sorry, guys. Like you guys were trying to help me. I can help you guys. Like it feels like funny
Mhm.
and quirky and just kind of weirdly beautiful. Like it's a weird thing to say about Harley, but Harley's such a complex, crazy character that's fun to read when done correctly.
Mhm.
And you can touch on her trauma, you can touch on everything like that, and still portray her as very strong, very, you could do sexy in a different way as well. Not this like
Yeah,
very
you
like
can
teenage boy
do.
sexy.
Yeah, you can do strong and sexy and badass and have like all these complex like layers to her character and like make that true to her. But she should be sexy for herself. Like that
Yeah.
should be like her strength. It shouldn't be like over sexualization of this like very traumatized character. Like that's just gross.
Yeah, she feels like a puppy that gets beat and comes back to the owner. And it
Mm.
hurts. It hurts to see it with Harley specifically. And thank God again for the media that we have now because we're past that. Even
Yeah.
when she's with the Joker in a lot of media, like it's still different. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's done way better. She does. I will say to not the harp on Suicide Squad. She does get like I guess because her Joker's dead in that universe,
Hmm.
that she does get a little closure, and she's like, been there, done that. Wrote the book about it. I'm not gonna be like that anymore. I'm strong, and so it is
Hmm.
nice to see that and Tara Strong have the ability to play the Arkhamverse version of her and kind of be strong in that. So it is cool, but it does suck. It does suck to see, and that goes with most of the characterizations of like the women in the Arkhamverse. Like, yes, they are that quote unquote Mountain Dew bro guy, Call of Duty guy, watching
Hmm.
they're sexy. And listen, we're talking about DC Comics. There are a lot of sexy ass characters in
There
DC.
are.
Talia's sexy, Dick's sexy, Jason's sexy, Bruce is sexy. Like, there's a lot of sexy motherfuckers in this universe. Uh, and Harley is. She's sexy as hell.
Yeah.
Ivy is too. She's sexy as hell. But like, just takes it to a different level. Like
Hmm.
how she dresses and then how she acts, like it's just like
Hmm.
ooh,
Yeah.
it feels gross. It feels gross. Now, mind you, if my wife wants to wear this outfit, I'm down. Whatever.
Yeah, but she's also a badass independent human who can
Exactly.
make her own
Yeah.
choices. Like she's
Yeah.
it's different when you're like competent and independent and like capable outside of, existing in this horrible
Yeah.
relationship.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, it is always bittersweet to see a Harley that doesn't get like her happy ending, and see
Hmm.
her in this stuck in this trap of like grossness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
All right. Homeroom?
yeah, homeroom. So, Sly, what are your final thoughts on Salt on Arkham?
Bad movie. I
Honestly,
think this
yeah.
is their first like real dud. Like we were like
Yeah.
down on Brainiac attacks, but like this one was just like straight up bad. Which
Yeah.
it's still fun for you and I to talk about. I hope it's fun for people to listen to us talk about cuz I'm having a blast. Like
Yeah.
I didn't necessarily have a blast watching this. I absolutely would not recommend it. I especially wouldn't recommend paying $4 to watch this movie.
No.
But I'm glad I did it for the show, and I'm glad we got to have all these fun, hilarious, awesome, deep conversations surrounding this garbage ass movie.
Oh
Those are my
man.
final thoughts.
Man, that's yeah. I mean, honestly, the same here. Like this movie's, not good. If you're like an Arkham super fan and you want to watch it, yeah, go ahead. I mean, you don't get more context to the universe. You don't get like,
Hmm.
you have more questions, especially again game wise. If you're at where we're at and have played up to date, like again, why is Floyd white in this universe when we know he's black? Like we have a definite
I
this
know.
universe is black. I don't know why. If
Hmm.
you ever want to know whatever happened to Killer Frost and Killer Shark, or I guess pre-Killer Shark, because there's two in this universe. And Black Spider. Here's your answer. I mean, the performances are good. What they
Yeah,
do
again,
great with what they're given,
star-studded cast,
yeah.
incredible performances, crappy
But
script.
yeah, man, what a rough script for this man. Just play the games, honestly. Just
Mhm.
just play Origins because apparently that's good. I can't vouch for that, but Asylum, City, 10 out of 10 games. Night, 8 out of 10. As long as you know who the knight is, and if you're okay with the Batmobile combat, which is not good. And then do what you will with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. We're not a game
Mhm.
review show. We're just apparently story wise that just
I
goes
feel
off the
like,
rails.
yeah, we're both very passionate about video games, so we could easily turn most of these episodes into a
Oh,
video game review.
oh
But
yeah.
I'm glad we had this episode to kind of contain it, where we talked about all of the once again, shout out to fucking Gotham Knights, the TV show.
The TV show,
Incredible.
not the game.
Negative shout out to the game, who I still can't fucking play, and I keep trying to. And I would love for my save to load, for my file to load correctly once ever. That's all I'm asking for. Anyways,
It might be doing a service to you. Honestly, I bet you if you buy just a Suicide Squad and you pop it in your PS5 and it's like, nah, I'm not gonna let you play this. I want to leave you with good memories. I don't want to leave you with bad memories. That's
mm-hmm.
fair. But I do want to play it too because I want to play as Nightwing. I keep thinking about it. Like, how many games do we get to play
all
as
I've
Jason and
heard
Dick? Like,
all I've heard about it is the characterizations are really solid. I just want to fuck around as Jason Todd. Let me do that. Or
dang,
Babs? You play as Babs? Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Apparently, she's the best character to control, like mechanically.
No.
Like, of course.
Hmm.
God damn it. God damn
Dick
it, W.
looks
Mantra.
great.
He's got that fat ass.
Like
Yeah,
Tim
that's
is
fun.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, Tip is there. Yeah.
I
Third
love
Robin.
Tim. Oh, true middle child.
Honestly, he really is. It's such a shame. All right, so that is our little interlude in the DC multiverse of animated features. Next, we are starting season 2, and that first movie is
Origins.
Batman Year One. I'm excited about
Hell
this
yeah.
movie. This cast is
Oh
fucking
yeah.
ridiculous.
That'll
I
be
can't
good.
wait. And I guess we could talk about Gotham a little bit too, the TV show, when we get into this, because there's gonna be a tie-in,
I
at least
fucking
voice wise.
love. I loved that show. It wasn't good by any means, but
Listen,
it
it
sure
tried.
was fun.
I will
They
fight on
tried.
this hill for Smallville to this day. I will fight anyone for Smallville. But Sly, where can people find you?
Where can people find me? You can find me here on Point in Progress, doing Point in Progress things. You can also find me occasionally online, doing Thirsty Thursdays with my good friend JJ, talking about 911, and then when 911 is in hiatus, whatever the fuck we force each other to watch for content, and it's a great time. You can also find me at Cyclone MC. I posted not to date us again. I posted a TikTok for the first time in like years. So that was fun. And also you can find me on Threads talking shit about the WNBA and soon hockey. So that's where you can find me. Where can
Listen,
people find you, Carlos?
find me here on Point of Progress, DC graduates, as we go through the DC animated multiverse. As well, you can find me in Nerdaday, youtube.com/Nerdaday, where I do reviews. We have Chaos Bringers, which is my Final Fantasy retrospective podcast series with Harv and Frank, as we go through the numbered Final Fantasy series. So by the time this is out, all things considered, I never heard from our special guest for our spoiler cast. That should have already been out. That should already be on the feed. You should go check it out. I'm sure it's like 4 hours long, and it's exhausting but amazing at the same time as we break down Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. But yeah, over there I do like reviews, unboxings, things like that. All your typical game stuff. But yeah, that's it. So till next time, everyone. Class is dismissed.